Hello, beautiful Sagittarians. These are going to be your messages for the next couple of months, 2 or 3 months, even though it's coming out in July. These messages will transpire, or the energies will transpire over the next 2 or 3 months. So if it doesn't make sense to you at the beginning of July, listen to it maybe at the end of July or August or even September. Just like with the other signs, I asked for a healing stone for you, and what I got was citrine. So citrine, for those of you who know what stone it is, it's yellow in color. It corresponds to the solar plexus. I briefly looked at what it means because I'm not very versed in healing stones. It cleanses chakra and opens intuition as one of the things that's coming up when I do a search. And it's interesting because intuition is, High Priestess shows up in your reading, in your messages, and High Priestess is all about intuition. And because it's showing up in reverse, it feels like you might be stuck a little bit too much in your head. Either you already have or have been or will be over the next little while. And your intuitive clarity may not be very, very apparent to you. In other words, you may not clearly be able to hear, see, or feel your intuition. So do yourself a favor, grab one of those citrine tumbled rocks or stones. They're very inexpensive. You can get them at any new age store. eBay sells them. You can pretty much get them anywhere. Citrine is also, it attracts wealth, prosperity, and success. It imparts joy, wonder, delight, and enthusiasm. It also raises self-esteem and self-confidence. And I feel the reason why this stone is being presented to you, and with all the other signs, every time I got a stone, it's not only does it have certain healing qualities, each stone seems to absorb certain energies, particularly energies that might be of lower vibration. So it looks like you're no different, and I can see the reason why. And I feel like I'm going to jump around a little bit, so just kind of bear with me. At the end of the day, I think it's going to make sense. The citrine stone is being shown to you because many of you are going through, the card healing and purging comes in. So healing, crisis, and purging means that there are some significant changes in your life, either already going on or about to go on. This does not signify that there is anything bad happening. I always say bad is just a matter of perspective, but it does signify that there are some changes taking place, and for some of you, these are significant changes. During changes, when we go through changes, during a process of change, oftentimes, if not almost always, certain things will come up to the surface that may make you or us, I'm speaking us, being you now, may make us feel quite uncomfortable. And oftentimes, anything that feels uncomfortable, we have a tendency to want to push it aside, to want to get away from it, to want to take a drink, go shopping, go gambling, whatever it is, to either destroy the feeling, numb the feeling, get rid of the feeling, or anything that prevents us from feeling it. What I would say is, and I know most of you already know that, sometimes that works, but at the end of the day, if we stuff our emotions, if we stuff our feelings, if we try to suppress our emotional response to whatever is going on, chances are very high that these emotions will end up blowing up in your face down the road, and they will certainly end up being what I would call a trigger. So whatever is going on over the next little while, again, I'm not saying it's anything bad. You might be presented with some fantastic opportunity for a job, let's say, or a relationship for that matter. And that fantastic opportunity, although it's amazing, may bring up some unfinished business from the past. For example, a fantastic work opportunity may bring about feelings of inadequacy and fears around not being good enough. So even though you might be presented with a fantastic job that pays you a lot of money, your own feelings about what this job represents to you and how you feel about yourself in regards to this job may raise some emotional stuff from the past. And generally speaking, in what happens in these situations, we are happy about what's happening, but at the same time, we have this emotional response that is coming forth as a result of something inside of you that is old, stagnant, and usually connected to your past that is being triggered. So that's one example. Another example I will give is another one. Let's say you are in a relationship and you are deciding to move in together, and you haven't been living with someone for a long time. And as a matter of fact, the last time you lived with someone, it blew in your face. So this proposition, although a natural next step in many relationships, although it may sound fantastic and it obviously would have beautiful opportunities for probable future, it may raise certain fears in you because the last time, like I said, you lived with somebody, it didn't go very well. So what I want to say, whatever comes up over the next little while for you, whether it be small, medium, or large, any emotional response that is happening or anything that is being triggered within you, try your best not to stuff the feelings. Try your best not to eat the feeling away, not to drink it away, not to shop away, not to gamble away, not to sex it away. Try your best to allow yourself to feel whatever it is rather than trying to numb it. And here's the reason why. We are all experiencing these amazing high vibrational frequencies. Some call it 5D, some call it different names. I don't really have too many labels around it, but you guys know what this means. And what it means is that these energies, these frequencies, when we begin to embody those frequencies, the lower frequencies that we have been holding on to, fear, pain, inadequacy, feeling unworthy, and all the 1,000 other things that we hang on to, those things will have a tendency to be pushed up to the surface. Why? To be released. And when I always say, when something is in your face, like an emotional response, or emotional trigger, when something is in your face, then it's a great opportunity to look at it in order to deal with it once and for all. And how do you deal with it? Well, the one sure way to deal with it effectively is to allow yourself to feel. And I said this on another sign, so check if some of the other signs also resonate with you. But I work with people every single day, except for weekends. And for some people, it's really difficult to feel. And that's because, well, there's a million reasons. I'm not going to go and list them all, but some people have difficulty feeling. But the problem with that is that we have an emotional body for a reason. As a matter of fact, we are here in a physical body to experience an emotional journey. In the spirit world, we have knowledge, we have wisdom, we have the theory, but what we don't have is the emotional experience. So we are here to experience emotional journey. And when we try not to feel or when we try to numb our feelings, those will eventually come out, and usually not in best ways. They will come out as sadness, depression, anxiety, panic attack, disease. Obviously, body will also respond to that. So what I would say is allow yourself to feel whatever it is that's coming up for you. Any fear, any discomfort, any fear, let's call it that way. Any feelings that are generally things we don't want to feel. Allow yourself to feel those. And what you will notice is that as you allow yourself to feel it without the need to do anything about it, without the need to try to fix it, get away from it, stuff it, whatever, you will notice that in a very short order, that feeling begins to dissipate. Because what happens is, by you allowing yourself to feel, you are effectively allowing this feeling to be digested by you and move through you, as opposed to being stuck in you. So this is the message for you, and that is one of the biggest things that I can see for you over the next 2 or 3 months. Now, why might this be happening? Well, the Three of Swords is showing up, and to me, this is an indication that you are moving past some old hurts, some old pains, old disappointments, old heartbreaks. So obviously this card in upright position indicates sadness, disappointment, but because it's coming up in reverse position, you are moving past it, which means as you move past whatever has been, that has disappointed you, that has hurt you, that has broken your heart, that has made you afraid to be loved, to be abundant, to be accepted. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. We all have experienced this. It's part of human experience. Because it's coming up in reverse, chances are very, very high that many of you will be moving past some major hurdles in your life, and hence experiencing this crisis, healing crisis and purging. At the same time, as you are moving through this, you may feel slightly all over the place. So this is the priestess that I was mentioning in the beginning. Priestess in this position is someone who is very in tune with not only with the physical part of life, but also the non-physical part of life. As you can see, this woman has closed eyes, and she has what appears to be like a crystal ball, except she's not looking at it. She has her eyes closed. That's because she is not looking for answers on the outside of her. She's looking for answers within. This indicates to me that you might feel blocked. So again, I'm going to give the example that I gave earlier. Let's say you are presented with a wonderful opportunity, and this opportunity is bringing up some SHIT in you, or it's triggering some old stuff. And as a result of this old triggers, this old emotional stuff, your thoughts may feel clouded. You may not have, your intuition may not be very clear. It's not because your intuition isn't strong. It's because your head is being messed up by whatever is happening in terms of healing and whatever changes that are going through, that you may not be able to hear or clearly see or feel your intuition. I'm going to go to the next card, and then I'm going to come back. The Three of Pentacles comes up. So for some of you, this is going to evolve actually around work. Financially speaking, for some of you, this is going to be around work. So for some of you, you might be moving into how do I say this? You might be moving into an opportunity that allows you to grow and prosper financially. You might be expanding your business, and that may bring up some fears in you. Perhaps fears around inadequacy, perhaps fears, oh my God, can I do this? Perhaps you have your own business, and all of a sudden you have this onset of clients, and it's presenting a wonderful opportunity, but at the same time it's presenting a bit of a problem, because now you have to expand, and oh my God, what does that mean? It may bring up a whole bunch of fears in you. So that's one thing that's coming up for some of you. It's around expanding in your work. It can also symbolize you being offered a promotion. Somebody comes in and says, hey, you've been doing a really good job, and I feel you might be interested in this. What do you think? And at first you might go, oh my God, great idea. And then you go home and you go, oh my God, can I do this? I don't know if I can do this. And the old stories will come back and go, no, you can't do this. You're not good enough. No. And that will absolutely cloud your intuition. So for a lot of you, this is going to be around either work or financial area, or an area around security. And when I say security, I also mean confidence. For others of you, this is about expanding your home, whether it is you moving to a new home, moving in with someone, so your home is expanding, because this is a very physical energy. It doesn't have to be money. It's very physical in nature. It's earthly, so things we can feel and touch. There's definitely expansion. This is a great omen. That's how I want to word it. This is a great omen. There's expansion here. For those of you who own your own businesses, chances are quite high that your business is going to grow. And that means you may have to look at implementing new ideas, maybe moving to a new location, maybe hiring more staff. If you have been working by yourself, maybe you have to think about hiring someone and bringing someone on board to help you with your new responsibilities. At the end of the day, whatever it is that's being triggered, whatever changes you are going through, it is all leading you to a really good place. I remember when I first lost my job 5 years ago, working in a corporate world, and some of you might have heard this before, and I hated what I did, and I said to Spirit, please put me out of my misery. So I said that and I kind of forgot about it, and 6 months down the road, lo and behold, my job was eliminated. And the moment it happened, I knew exactly what was happening, but it was not the way I would have wanted it. I wanted it my way. I wanted to have control over it. And if I had it my way, I would have still been there, and you would not be listening to me right now, and I would probably be there until the time I retired, and that wasn't the plan. But my ego self was very scared of taking chances because, well, it's hard to leave something that's sure and that's stable. So long story short, it brought up tremendous amount of fears for me. As a matter of fact, one of my biggest fears were staring me in my face. Fears around inadequacy, fears around abandonment, fears around rejection, fears around who am I to do this work? How am I going to make this work? What if people are going to leave me because they think I'm crazy? I'm going to be talking to dead people for a living. All these things came up to my face, and I had to face it. And 5 years later, I am here talking to you, and it is one of the greatest things that has happened in my life. But when it was happening, it was quite difficult and it was quite scary. So I'm using me as an example to show you that something that can be absolutely amazing at the beginning can feel very scary, because a lot of the times it means change, and change is often, well, it presents difficulties. Any type of change is uncomfortable. Sometimes it's very uncomfortable, sometimes it's a little bit uncomfortable. But change is necessary nonetheless, and we are all moving towards change. Change happens every day. So I think you get the picture. Again, citrine is a stone for you. So if you want to grab a stone, I feel it'll help you. While you go through these changes, it'll certainly soothe your soul, soothe your energy, and offer you maybe a little bit more clarity, maybe some grounding. You might also pick up black onyx, which is a very grounding stone, but it will also offer you a little bit more confidence, so you can you can feel more in tune with yourself. And last but not least, I feel like I'm going backwards here. So last but not least, zebra shows up. So zebra this symbol is a chemical symbol for fire. So this is all about it's your fire, it's your spirit, it can connect with love, it can connect with relationships, it can connect passion, certainly work. You know, some of you, my work is my passion. Not for everybody, but my work is my passion. So to me, what this zebra represents, it represents exploration. And I want to say not everything is black and white. As a matter of fact, most things in life are gray. So if you're looking for a straight road ahead to lead you to a certain destination, chances are it's not going to work that way. Normally, life kind of weaves and ebbs, and the roads aren't straight as an arrow. But that's what I want to say. It's very rarely black and white. It's usually in the gray. Notice the triangle here on, I want to call it her because she has long eyelashes. It could be a he, but I want to say it's a she. This symbol is, this triangle is right in her third eye, and it's being lit up with all the colors of the rainbows, or all the colors of our chakras. So this indicates a lot of what's the word I want to use, please? A lot of movement in your third eye, which means for many of you, your third eye is opening. What do I mean by this? That although you are already psychic, we're all psychic, we're all equipped with it. Majority of you who hear this message will begin to see things psychically. You may begin to see visions. You may begin to see things that other people can't see. You may have premonitions. It's a very active area, very active third eye. And third eye is also about seeing. It's about seeing the future. So what I want to say here is, particularly for those of you who are moving through a change, look at your change through the eyes of through your third eye rather than through the eye of your logic, because the logic is based on our own experiences. And our experiences are often rooted in our past, and often these experiences have, things that sometimes can be very scary, which can produce fears. And so when we listen to our logic, a lot of the time our logic will try to prevent us from looking forward or looking at our future with how do I say this, with an open mind, because the ego wants to protect us. The ego is here to protect us. It wants to be safe. It needs to be safe. And creativity, there is no such thing as safety with creativity. Creativity is a flow. It's unencumbered by rigid things and by rigid beliefs and rigid beliefs. That's how I'm going to leave it. So what I'm going to say with this card is this is a message of exploration. I also want to say explore your inner guidance through meditation, through yoga. For some of you, I want to say tantric yoga, and I don't even know what tantric yoga means. I've heard it before. I'm going to look it up. So for those of you who know, by all means, please comment down below. I would be really interested to know. And is there anything else I want to say to you guys? Over the next few months, be very patient with yourself. When we go through changes, majority of people, including myself, want to go through changes very fast. We just want to get to the end. But always remember, our journey is not about the end result. Our journey is about the journey. And it is the journey that allows us to gain most wisdom. It's not the end result. So try your best not to rush whatever changes are happening with you. Allow these changes to come to you on its own accord, on its own time. Of course, if you have to do some things, you have to do some things. But try not to obsess over what is this going to look like? How is this supposed to be? In other words, have intention, but then take your hands off the wheel and let the car drive by itself, because it's on autopilot. And I'm going to leave it with that analogy. Last but not least, I'm looking at self-discipline. This is a message of discipline, which is very straightforward. But what is the discipline about? It's staying true to you and what is most important to you. For example, if you are presented with a new opportunity, but your old stuff is coming up and it's clouding your thoughts, ask yourself this question: what does this opportunity present? What would this opportunity present to me? What would it afford me? And I'll tell you one thing. Generally speaking, when opportunities present themselves, it's because you're ready for it. Sometimes we were presented with opportunities and then we sabotage. It's because whatever the opportunity presents to us is as a connection is in direct contradiction to what we believe. So the discipline is about making sure that you make your choices and decisions based on what is true to you, what your truth is, not what your fears are telling you. That is how I interpret this message, okay? Also, 2 and 4 is 6. That is, to me, sign of harmony, sign of balance. So many of you are moving to a much more balanced state. And hey, if you're moving past disappointments and past hurt and past heartbreaks, you're moving more into a balanced state, because you will not have this garbage kind of triggering you going forward. You will release this. And with that said, I think that's how I'm going to leave it. I hope this was helpful. If it doesn't make sense to you right away, do listen to it sometime later. Feel free to comment on any of the videos that you watch. I love reading your comments. I read every single one of them. And I wish you best of luck. Please take care of yourself. take care of not only of your financial needs, but take care of your emotional needs and your spiritual needs, and stay true to you. And for private sessions, if you would like to figure out your life with my help, that information is down below in the more info section. And with that said, I want to congratulate you. Many of you, I want to say congratulations. You've whatever's coming to you, you have earned it. And it isn't by a coincidence that good things are coming to you. You have been working on this very hard, and for some of you, for a very, very long time, okay? And that takes commitment. So you have committed to yourself, and as a result, the universe is going to pay you dividends. So congratulations, whatever that is for you. Thank you again so much. I wish you best of luck, and I will see you soon.